Speedway. We are so glad to be back with you here tonight for the second show with the Renegade Monster Truck Tours event by JCB Stevenson Equipment. And let's meet your drivers. First up, I'm not going to screw up his name as I did in the afternoon show. I had sprint cars on the brain. Shut up, CJ. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Hagerstown, Maryland, RJ Turner in the War Wizard. All right, RJ Johnson. You know, you had a little bit of a tough showing. You didn't know if you were going out for freestyle the first show. What's going on with the truck? How hard are you going to run this thing tonight?
We have our race steering whole unit beside the separate itself from the truck, which actually want to make like three-piece unit there. But we got this whole ratchet gun back in, loaded in there. What happened was the tank was no longer attached to the mounting bracket. So we got to ratchet up all together. That's basically all that's going on. But as long as it holds together, we're going to run it. We're going to have to keep it to a certain degree until we at least get to freestyle. And if it falls off the freestyle, it's not really a big deal. But keep it here, taking all our passes.
You know, you have all week to put back together. One thing I do want to talk to you about, your truck has a different shock package, it looks like, than what the air trucks is. It looks like on the front and the rears you have coils instead of just all four nitrogen shocks, right?
Yeah, that was something I did for like 10 years now, almost 10 years. And you know, it's worked out pretty well for us. Maybe this is the first event outside that we got to run it, and it's with the way I had to run earlier today, it really wasn't allowing the truck to work properly. So maybe we can get out there and run a little harder and make this thing work. Because it definitely, the harder I run it, the better it feels.
Absolutely. Well, good luck tonight, my man. Ladies and gentlemen, RJ Turner Johnson in the War Wizard. Come on, sunshine. Ladies and gentlemen, earlier today, this boy, he was on another level. He did the wildest things I've ever seen in my years of covering motorsports. He did stuff that a 10,000-pound truck should have not done. Ladies and gentlemen, your overall event winner from earlier today, out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania, is CJ Ratu, and the Stinger Release, led by JCB Stevenson Equipment. All right. How do you do that stuff you do with a 10,000-pound monster truck that really should have been done? I think I may have done that in DMG like 4 or 5 times and still went over on my nose, and you did.
Well, there's a couple steps to it. The first is making sure the truck even wants to do it. If it doesn't, you probably shouldn't be doing it, as I found it in freestyle. But I was just out here having fun. You know, we had a capacity crowd earlier, and they were absolutely off the walls. They were loud, crazy, on their feet. If you guys are the exact same way, you're going to get an awesome show as well. That's what we come out here for. We're for the fans. So if you guys are out here not getting loud, you're not going to get as good of a show as you can get out of us. So participation means everything.
Absolutely. So how much did the truck get hurt with the roll over there? I know you guys were a little bit late getting over there to the party in the pits.
Just a couple parts we had to tighten up, and there was a steering ram that came loose and broke off. Other than that, a lot of cosmetic damage, but that just means we can have some more fun tonight.
Also, I gotta ask you, are you wearing your special underwear tonight? She asked, she told me. Ladies and gentlemen, CJ Ratu and Stinger Unleashed.
Do you have your special Stinger underwear?
Ladies and gentlemen, this man here, he is working himself back up to be where he needs to be at. Today, he actually got to finish the whole show for the first time in a while. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Thompson in the Hurricane Force out of Hagerstown, Maryland. I know I have to give it a little jab in there, but you know what? It was nice to see you finish the whole show out there, even though a little bit of issue earlier today.
Yeah, you know, we got those, you know, you change your motor, spend the week in the shop, focus on everything else, you forget about that 25-cent zip tie to keep your prop cable connected into the class. But you know what, we live, we learn, we keep on trucking, you know. We had a good show this morning, the truck felt pretty good, things were responsive, feeling good, you know. I myself, I'm feeling good, you know, feeling a little bit higher, you know, faith-wise, and man, we're feeling good about this show today. We got a good crowd out here today, we got an awesome track out here. Racing, it's a fun, technical racing track. So you really got to be on your toes, but you know, the no man's pretty slick, so you gotta be watching it, you know. But at the end of the day, it's all about these fans out here putting on the best possible show for them. Without these guys, we wouldn't be able to do this.
Absolutely. Now, there is a difference in the lanes here. I feel like earlier today, all the winds came out this narrow lane here. How much of a difference did you see between the lanes earlier today?
Definitely, you know, bright lane's definitely got the advantage on it right now, but you know, you never know. You guys put the water down on the track, the left lane may come to life a little bit. You might get a better fight out there. So it's, you know, it's anyone's game out here. All these drivers are incredible drivers. These trucks are incredible. It's anyone's game out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Thompson in Hurricane Force. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next here out of Camden, South Carolina. He put it on the tailgate a couple times. Well, actually, he doesn't even have a tailgate. He's got kind of a tail? A little bit of a tail on it. Either way, he's stuck in the dirt. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Camden, South Carolina, Preston Perez and the Velociraptor. Well, he did some good stuff out there. I mean, obviously, you're running against some very tough competition earlier today, and you might have to step it up when we turn the lights on here tonight.
Yeah, you know, we always try to step it up for the nighttime show. It's the last show of the weekend. We have all week to fix it. You know, not that we don't run hard first show, but it's real tough to get things turned around when there's a lot of damage. A couple hours going between. So, you know what? Like I said, we got all week. We're going to burn down today.
Absolutely. You did have some issues there in between racing. I believe you tore up a hose line. You went crazy. You had to go back there and work like crazy.
Yeah, front steering line, just like you said, ripped off. Second round of racing. We got it back fixed though. Put on a pretty good freestyle. You know, hoping to improve today. Had struggled with momentum a little bit. I feel like it's kind of hard to drive around this track because there's obstructions everywhere. But you know, like I said, the best is the best. They don't make excuses. They adapt to whatever track conditions are out there. So hopefully we can improve here tonight.
All right, good luck, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, Preston Perez and the Velociraptor. Ladies and gentlemen, this truck has been around for a long time. The driver has been doing a phenomenal job keeping the name up and alive. He got shafted by Corbin Hurley a couple weeks ago in a donut competition. I'm still not going to let that go for me. Just because I'm always there to hear it, but I'm glad to hear about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Bowell out of Fairfax, Virginia, the Virginia Giant. I don't think I'm ever going to let that down before. Are you?
No, I'm not letting it down either, Corbin. You need to pay more attention today, please. Donuts. Pay more attention. Thank you.
Absolutely. Did the check clear this week?
It did, so we're good enough.
Oh, okay, good. Hey, first show today. Looked like you were out there pretty good. Had a lot of fun out there. A really good kind of old school freestyle. Nothing too flashy, but a lot of big air. A lot of fun out there. Really let the Virginia Giant stretch his legs out there today.
Yeah, man, we had a blast today. I'll tell you what, this is a very challenging track, just not because of the man-made obstacles that we need to use, but all the other obstacles around the power poles, all these guardrails. We need to really pay attention because most of the damage is going to come from running over those K-rails. So we're keeping it in the fun tonight. We got some stiff competition here with these guys, and hopefully if Corbin's paying attention, I might be able to win donuts.
Anyway, I tell you what, I will say this earlier today, that Jersey barrier out there, you literally had the perfect stop in the donut competition. You were literally that close from nailing it there, and now you've done some serious damage out front of the truck.
Absolutely, that's exactly what it'll do. And these trucks are made to take a lot of abuse, but when you get them tangled up with one of these concrete K-rails, the amount of damage you can do is pretty astronomical.
All right, buddy, good luck tonight, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, Cliff Bowell and the Virginia Giant.
That's a big word. Astronomical walking.
Last but certainly not least, I think so. Anyway, yeah. Yes, Kevin Nash is here. PNWO. You're not even old enough for that, CJ. Anyways, I tell you what, he came also close today to beating his good friend CJ Ratu in the overall championship. Ladies and gentlemen, out of Liberty City, Texas. Tiredness is catching up with me. Liberty City, Texas. Preston Collins and a Jurassic Attack. Woo! I guess I should get the RC. Hey, I tell you what, man, you did everything you could to catch CJ today. That was a lot of fun watching you guys in racing. Zay came over the radio and said, watch this is going to be one heck of a race. And boy, you two really going to go down out there in racing finals.
Yeah, me and CJ were talking after the show, and that was probably the most fun I've had all year racing. And he's a big fan of mine, and I'm a big fan of his. And when we pulled the line, it's game on.
And it was there tonight. And I tell you what, Freestyle, you're going to have to figure out something big here. what's going on, even all these guys, they're going to be really tough to beat here tonight. And what would that mean to you to be able to knock any of these guys off here tonight and then go that checker flag at the end of the night?
I mean, it would mean the world, but that's not what it's about. It's about these fans that stand for these guys. We wouldn't be here doing this. So, we thank each and every one of you guys for coming out.
He's not shutting the Cliff, I don't think you need a shower tonight.
Hey, if you see him, if you see that guy in the water truck anywhere around here, dump a bottle of water on him and tell him CJ told you to do it.
And CJ may not have a ride next week. Anyways, what were you saying?
Before I was rudely interrupted, it's all about these fans. If it wasn't for these guys spending their hard-earned money, we wouldn't have a job. So I want to thank each and every one of you guys for coming and spending your Saturday evening with us. Like I just said, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be here. So you guys ready to have some fun or what?
That's what we like to hear. Good luck today, my man. Anyway, Preston Collins and Jurassic Attack. Corbin, those are your drivers. We're about ready to go out here tonight with the second show with the Renegade Monster Truck Tour here at Potomac Speedway.
Check one. All right. That's always good. Hey, what's up, Mechanicsville? Thanks, cool, man. You guys ready to have some fun out here today? Ladies and gentlemen, we brought to you a Stars in the Field of 6 awesome drivers back there. They can hear you. They need to know, are you ready to have some? Check one. All right. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Renegade Monster Trucks and welcome to the Potomac Speedway. My name is Chaos Corbin, and right now, I'm going to tell you all about the craziness, the carnage, the all-out destruction that you're about to see on this track here tonight. This is what I call our Renegade Rundown. You see, Monster Truck fans, we have 6 Monster Trucks here today. They're going to be taken off in 4 different competitions, and 3 of those 4 are going to be scored and judged by you, the amazing Monster Truck fans. And here's how that works. After each competition is over, we'll run each one of these Monster Trucks, including Preston Collins over here, and based off of your noise and your applause that you make for that truck, that determines who gets the win here today. I do not determine the winner, with all due respect, Mr. Cliff Fowler and Bert. I do not determine the winner. You guys do, all right? So, here's what's going to happen. The first competition of the day is going to be our 2-wheel skills competition. Who wants to see a Monster Truck 2-wheel skills competition? I don't believe on one thing, Corbin, that you don't judge this. I think you go right in your own favor there. You play business for yourself, buddy. Oh, there you go.
By the way, since my mic didn't work, ladies and gentlemen, instead of saying what's up, Corbin, how do we say happy birthday, Corbin? That's today, it's his 25th birthday. Now it might work, but you know, as you got there in the first show.
You know what, Bert? I was kind of hoping that your mic wouldn't work for that, but you know what?
Oh, don't worry, you forgot to not leave the extra batteries up here, my friend.
Hey, thank you, Mechanicsville. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There is no other place I would rather turn 25 years old than right here at Potomac Speedway with these awesome Monster Trucks and you, the awesome Monster Truck fans. All my friends back home in Europe are like, Corbin, you must hate going away on your birthday. I'm like, no. I said I'm going to party with all my friends, and that's what I'm doing out here at Mechanicsville. I'm partying with all my friends. So, that's what we're going to do here today is we're going to have us a big old party right here on this track. Today's going to be a big old party. And our 2-wheel skills competition was going to kick it off here. All of our drivers will come out here and get 2 chances to give you the best 2 tricks on the track. And it can be anything from wheelies to stoppies to bicycles to moonwalks, whatever tricks these drivers have up their sleeves. But again, it's going to be scored and judged by you, the amazing Monster Truck fans here in Mechanicsville, Maryland. You see, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are going to determine who gets the win here today. But I got a question here. Who here likes donuts? Anybody? I love donuts, man. I like the glazed donuts, the frosted donuts. Down here. I mean, yeah, dude, Krispy Kreme, they don't have that in New York, man. Krispy Kreme donuts are good, man. Those are banging donuts. But here's the thing. I'm not talking about those donuts. No, I'm not.
I'm talking about the kind of donuts where you get in your monster truck and you spin, spin, spin as fast as you can. Who wants to see that happen? Well, that's going to be competition number 2 is our monster truck donut competition. Our drivers come out here to the track and spin that truck as fast, as long, and as crazy as possible. And whichever driver you think had the craziest, most awesome donut will be crowned our champion here this afternoon. Now, I know we're at Potomac Speedway. I know this is race country. Who wants to go racing? Well, I'm glad you say that because I do too, and that's the competition number 3 is our monster truck racing competition. And Bert, you're the racing announcer, man. You come from Sealands Grove Speedway. Tell these fans what it's all about out here. This is side-by-side racing, right?
Side-by-side drag racing, Corbin. Everyone's going to get down there on the line 2 at a time. We're going to stage them down there. Once they get the green light, they're going to come over the first set of jumps there. It's a little steep down there. Got to be careful with what you do with the throttle. As soon as you land it, you want to hammer it down no man's land. That's here between the 2 sets of jumps, and then send it down over the finish line there. And you got to be really careful down there because you have a wall on the left, wall on the right in the near lane, but in the far lane, you got that K-rail out there watching that drainage ditch out there. We're going to go side-by-side bracket racing, single elimination. Winner comes back, loser may come back as a fast loser. Since we have 6 trucks out here, we will have a fast loser tonight. That'll get our 4 truck semifinals, and it comes down to the final 2 and see who is the racing champion here at Potomac.
Absolutely, and that's going to be an awesome racing bracket. Any way you slice it, it's anybody's game out here this afternoon. But I know what you guys really came to see. What they came to do, who wants to see some monster truck freestyle? Well, freestyle is my favorite competition, and I'll tell you why. It's no rules, no time limit, anything goes. These drivers can do literally whatever they want on this track. But here's the catch, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that they do is going to be scored and judged by you, the Renegade Monster Truck fans. And it's all after one thing, and that's that big overall event championship on the far side of the track in the backstretch. That checkered flag along the back of whichever monster truck racks the most points in skills, racing, donuts, and freestyle. But before I go any further, before we make history, before we get this birthday party started, I got one final question to ask you here. Mechanicsville, Maryland, who's ready for Renegade Monster Trucks?
You're about to experience carnage, insanity, destruction, and all-out mayhem like you've never seen before. Prepare to feel the ground shake as massive 10,000-pound, 1,500 horsepower fire-breathing machines of destruction come to life. The best drivers on the planet. Massive mechanical monsters, all about to unleash pure chaos. Gravity will be defied, history will be made, champions will be crowned, and thundering power will be on full display. The louder you get, the bigger they go. Now, the time has come. Raise those checkered flags. Put on your monster marks and get ready, because it's time to meet the
Monster Truck Superstars. Introducing to you first, in her rookie season of Monster Truck Competition, she hails from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. She's pretty, she's wicked, she's Allie and pretty wicked! And Allie's trusted teammate and best friend and competitor on the track here today. Representing for all the ladies as well, she hails from Tampa, Henning, Virginia. Ladies and gentlemen, the queen of the donuts, make some noise for Kinsley and Layla! Truck Superstars, the young man with a plan from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, sending it runs in the family. He hails from Pennsylvania. Make some noise right now for Karen and Minnie Stinger. Now, Minnie's are cool, but I gotta know, who wants to meet your monster truck? We're gonna start right dead center of our track here on the front stretch of our Potomac Speedway with a dude who's been rocking the house for over a decade, bringing a storm to his home state of Maryland, romping and stomping for the fans in the stands. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Stephen Thompson and Hurricane Fox! And next, that crazy Triceratops of Terror, one of the two dinosaurs of destruction here this afternoon, representing for Team Throttle Monster, one of the most powerful monster trucks on the planet today, and the guy behind the wheel, a former Monster Jam Arena champion of his own, hailing from Liberty City, Texas. Let's give a big Potomac Speedway welcome to Preston Collins, Jurassic Attack! Oh, but did I not mention that we have two dinosaurs racing here this afternoon? This crazy guy, also from Team Throttle Monster, is the big, bad, blue dinosaur of destruction who hails out of Camden, South Carolina. He's been behind the wheel of over 20 different identities, including this one, who he hopes to rock the house here today. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big hand to the one, the only, Preston Perez and Velociraptor! Looking monster trucks on the track today. That awesome hot rod style monsters with a brand new paint job for the 2026 Renegade Monster Truck Series. And this guy behind the wheels won a multitude of overall event championships last season, and he hopes to win one here this afternoon in the Potomac Speedway. From right down the street in Hagerstown, Maryland, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for R.J. Turner in War Wizard! And you know, this guy really needs no introduction, but you know what? Let's give him one anyway. This truck's been in competition for over 3 decades. A 3-time International Championship truck that the Deal Wilson made famous all these years ago. And the dude behind the wheel is going to romp and stomp right here at Potomac Speedway. Hailing from Fairfax, Virginia, ladies and gentlemen, get loud for Cliff Bell, Virginia! And last, but certainly not least, is that young, crazy 18-year-old phenom who's on his 15th anniversary season. Last year, he won the Beast of Wildwood Beach Championship. And today, he's looking to romp and stomp with
the best. He's won more overall championships 2 seasons ago than any other driver on this tour. A second-generation hot shoe from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Make some noise for Sendon CJ Review and the JCB Stevenson
At 10, you can say 9, and they can count us backwards until we get to 1, and all of us together can say those famous command words here at this racetrack. Renegades, start your engines. Can we do that? Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do this one more time. Let's get insane in 10,
9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Renegade! says the winner should be Velociraptor? Who says it should be Virginia Giant? Who says this should be Jurassic Attack? Who says this should be Stinger Unleashed? Wow. And who thinks this should be War Wizard? Oh boy.
Send it! Send it! Jurassic! Let's go! Come on, bro!
So we're gonna need a cheer off here because it is really close. We can't tell what you guys want. So, do you guys want Stinger Unleashed? What about War Wizard? Well, ladies and gentlemen, your winner, CJ Ratu and Stinger Unleashed.
CJ Ratu, congratulations, man. Dude, you're 2 for 2 right now. You put the back end up on the 2 front tires. Is there anything you can't do?
Apparently bicycles, because I failed one earlier. I'm just out here having fun, man. You guys are awesome. This crowd is absolutely amazing. One of the best we've had so far this year. It gets all of us pumped up. We're super excited to be here our first time. You guys showed up, showed out. I can't thank Stevenson Equipment enough for sponsoring me, ATI, 717 Raps, Schroeder, Wayne's Towing, Nick and Ethan back there for keeping the truck 100%, all my crew, Garrett, Dad, everybody. Make sure you guys get loud, you get rowdy, and you're going to get one heck of a show tonight.
There you go. Hey, fans, one more time for your 2 Real Skills winners, CJ Ratu and the JCB Stevenson Stinger Unleashed.
this should be Jurassic Attack? Okay, alright. Who thinks this should be the Virginia Giant?
Lots of Virginia Giant fans here, dude. Who thinks this should be Stinger Unleashed? Who thinks this should be Hurricane Force?
Who says this should be War Wizard?
And who says this should be the Velociraptor? Alright, so I think we got another tie between Velociraptor and War Wizard, but I don't like ties. Bert doesn't like ties. Let's break this tie here, man. Who thinks this should be War Wizard? Oh, bro. Who thinks this should be Velociraptor? Your winner is Velociraptor!
Led by Stevenson, JCB, and then Steven Thompson and the Hurricane Force. And then Turner and the War Wizard going to Velociraptor.
ladies and gentlemen. Now, before we crown our racing champion, let's meet your championship round contenders. In the near lane, the Triceratops of Terror, the Dinosaur of Destruction, representing for Team Throttle Monster, or former Monster Jam Arena Series winner. Now he's from romping and stomping here at Potomac Speedway from Liberty City, Texas. Make some noise for Preston Collins, Jurassic Attack!
Corbin, as I mentioned earlier, this is a redo of this afternoon Preston Collins with a little bit of a drive.
On leash, looking to get the win here against the CJ, congratulations, man. Dude, you got skills, now you got racing. How awesome is this, dude?
It feels absolutely awesome. That's 2 times now. Preston and I both have made it to the finals, one of my absolute best friends. So it's an absolute race out here every single time to the floor. It's awesome to get the win over him. He's got me on my toes all weekend. I'm just ready to come out here. The body's already off the truck. I got nothing else to lose. We're gonna burn it down in freestyle for each and every single one of you. There you go. CJ, congratulations, man. What up here, ladies and gentlemen?
they should be Spear Unleashed? Who thinks it should be War Wizard? And who says it should be Jurassic Attack? So your winner is freestyle is Jurassic Attack! And your overall event champion is CJ Matthew and Steven Unleashed! Your overall event champion, CJ Matthew and Steven Unleashed! CJ, congratulations, dude. You took another overall, man. You're 2 for 2 in overalls here. Look at all these fans here. You gave them the best show you could. They're going home happy.
Man, I was just out there having fun. I could hear you guys through the truck screaming. It was awesome coming down to the front stretch and watching everyone jump up and down. We're all around here just living the dream, having fun, but we seriously could not do it without all of you. We'll be in the autograph line signing until each and every one of you leaves. Buy some merchandise, even if it's not mine, and support all these teams back here. Thank you, Stevenson, ATI, Wayne, Steph. I love you guys. You're awesome, and we'll see you again back here next year.
There you go.